don't pronounce her name
and
right.
Kamala Harris. If
Kamala.
I were a man,
You said
I
this
will
without
say
calling her Nancy
anything
Mace.
that I want.
It's
Come on,
Kamala.
You're doing this on purpose, Congressman.
That's disrespectful.
You can't expect people to
If a
respect your
man put
service
on
if
a
you don't
skirt and
respect
walked
her.
that stage 25 years ago, she
You're a
would have
white
said
woman
it. She would have
disrespecting a
taken
black
that
woman. That
achievement
is
away from
problematic.
women.
That's disgusting.
All right, so I figured why not just do a little fun political story today that it's just so ridiculous that why not? I had a little fun seeing it yesterday where I was just like, this cannot be what we're arguing about, but here we are. So apparently there is a little bit of a discourse around Donald Trump pronouncing Kamala Harris's name wrong, Kamala. And Nancy Mace seemed to be doing it purposefully, to the point where she even said her name right at one point and then just decided to start saying it wrong again. Gee, wonder why that is. It's not like they all got a memo saying, hey, this is like, we don't have a nickname for her, but as long as we just, how do you pronounce her name? She's got a weird name, like Barack Hussein Obama. Like, come on. Like, we don't see what you're doing. So Nancy Mace went on CNN with a panel that definitely was ready to fight back. Although I did notice that the makeup of the panel, I mean, just leave it to CNN to like do the most optically, biased thing where you're just like, oh, okay, well, we got 2 Republicans, both white, 1 man, 1 woman. Then we got 2 Democrats, both black, 1 man, 1 gay man. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, I'm glad that you guys are so on point with that. But yeah, let's see what she had to say on CNN and how bad it really was.
Trump says he's not ranting, but this press conference was a great example of a speech littered with all the things that he's been focused on for a long, long time. Is he capable, really, of staying completely on message here?
No, of course not. This was not a press conference, first of all. This was a campaign rally speech. He even had his supporters there at Bedminster, and he fooled the press once again, by claiming he was going to have a press conference. He spoke for 40...
I wonder how long this is going to go for before the press just stops showing up. Because he's fooled them twice. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, come on. The other guy said it. But... I tried to watch it. I actually got so bored with it, I just tuned out. I'm just going to come out and say that he's not even fun to watch anymore. Like, we've heard the greatest hits. We've been hearing fake news, all this bullshit for going on almost 10 years now. Like, it's just getting old. Like, we're getting bored with it. But, hey, you know what? This is why people love going to see a band and see the greatest hits, right?
5 minutes before he even allowed a question to be asked. And when he did, he was just filled with lies over again. He made this comment about, what is it, more than 100% of new jobs that are created.
Look, I'll play it. So just so you don't have to paraphrase what it was. Listen.
Virtually 100% of the net job creation in the last year has gone to migrants. You know that? Most of the job creation has gone to migrants. In fact, I've heard that substantially more than beyond the number of 100%.
Beyond a number of 100%.
I guess I need my calculator so I can go shoplifting with Donald Trump, because clearly you can't have more than 100% of jobs going to migrants. You can't even have 100% of new jobs going to migrants.
What are you talking about? The last time I saw that there was over 150%. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not only mathematically impossible, it's just plain stupid. And how does this guy get taken seriously? How is it that he is a presidential candidate?
Again, the double standard in which we grade this guy. Like, Republicans were already graded on a curve. Like, this goes back to when, like, all of, like, my media consumption with politics started. I have never not seen the Republicans being handled with just children's gloves. Like, it's insane how much they essentially do treat them like kids. But Democrats, man, they hammer every point. They literally, they will dig so deep. And then if they do find something, they just... I mean, look at Joe Biden. The Joe Biden cognitive decline. We're not bringing up Trump's. We're not looking at his press conference and scrutinizing every little thing that he said wrong. Which, what? Like, even if it is just the norm, stop showing your bias. We get it, media. We get it. I'm going to just call it legacy media. Legacy media really wants Trump back because their ratings are so bad. That's the one thing he's right about. That means the ratings have gone down. But he refuses to see that it's not because people like you and approve of what you're doing. It's because people look at you as a pariah. They literally want to see how you're going to screw up again. That's what we were doing. Every day we were just like, oh, how is he going to embarrass us more?
Candidate for the highest office in our country when you can't even complete a press conference without spewing lies and misinformation and obvious falsehoods.
Well, if you want to talk about misinformation, we can.
That's like to have to sit that straight just to keep your buttoned. I mean, I don't know. Every time I wear a suit, I always unbutton, but this is why I like vests.
Talk about Kamala Harris's Google ads, like literally taking headlines from mainstream media and rewriting them, which
Does she not have just a hateable face?
should be against Google ads policies. But what's stupid
I know I'm not supposed to make fun of people's
allowing
appearances,
people,
but come on, like look at her.
criminals, to go into stores in California and not being able to arrest them unless it's $900 or $950 and more.
The problem
and
is that that's not actually what's true.
And you see
That's not
videos
actually
of
what the
people
law is.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for finally stepping in, journalist.
going into stores in these blue cities and blue states, stealing merchandise and not being stopped. We've all seen these videos.
So
But
should Donald Trump not
Real quick, actually, so these retail theft rings, the reason that they don't go after them right away is usually because they're building a case. So when they do these smash and grabs, what they are, like, it's not like Donald Trump is saying, number one, they're smash and grabs. So you don't have 5 people going there and then one person sitting there with LinkedIn and their calculator. Just I don't know why I said LinkedIn or a spreadsheet. Sorry. So they're not doing that. They're not literally taking an inventory while they're there going, oh, guys, we hit 950. We can't get prosecuted for this. No, what's happening is they're doing these smash and grab things. They're stealing all of these products, and then what happens is they give all of this evidence to the cops so detectives can build a case against them, especially if they steal enough. It's called grand larceny. So at that point, it becomes a federal offense. So I'm just saying, if we're going to be talking about that, maybe talk about the tough on crime Kamala Harris that also prosecutes those very same people. See, this is, again, I love how they bring up, well, that's Kamala Harris's policies from San Francisco. Her and Gavin Newsom, that's her policy. Well, how can she simultaneously let crime happen and also be tough on crime? Answer me that, please.
He's allowed to go into a store because he's a convicted criminal?
Well, I don't think anybody at this table should be surprised that Donald Trump stood up for 45 minutes, an hour or more, taking questions, giving a speech, because if you're holding
This guy does not like her.
your breath for an Oscar nod, that he did that.
Body
Don't hold your
language.
breath, because no one's going to believe you. This is what he does. He stands, he gives speeches, he takes the questions, he gives the answers. And to date, more than 3 weeks in, Kamala Harris hasn't given a single interview. She hasn't come on your program. She's not answering questions.
It's
She's not
Kamala,
giving
first
speeches.
of all. It's not Kamala. It's Kamala.
It's Kamala. Okay, see, right, that wasn't really that egregious. And honestly, right there, she's kind of doing that thing where she's just like buffering because he's got a, and it, all right. I mean, we're arguing, that's a little ridiculous. But then again, I get it. If somebody called me Pepper, I'd be like, no, it's Pepper.
She's not yet the candidate. She's only been in office, only been a candidate for 3.5
She's been
weeks.
vice president for 3.5
Yeah, and Trump
years.
went a whole primary season without even doing a debate. So,
And half
you know,
of America
but you
isn't
can't.
stupid
Wait a minute.
because
She wasn't running for anything. Again, how many times did Mike Pence do debate or do anything really outside of become famous for having his own supporters wanting to hang him? I mean, you can't say that vice president is just performative, especially when J.D. Vance is so unpopular, and then be like, well, where was she as the VP? How come she was just not around?
Republicans in this country
But it's a
voted
false-
for him, nominated him. She didn't earn a single vote in the Republican.
got
But
What
you
do
know,
you
it's
think
a
about
false
the
equivalence between what Donald Trump
Why
is
do
doing
you
as an
care?
autocrat as a fascist, as a
not winning
dictatorial
anything.
inclined.
I mean,
that's
you
the
guys
man-
keep trying to go and get those independent voters that are just like, the Democrats lied to you. The Democrats lied to you. You didn't even get a primary. It's not even the independent voters. They're going for the left. They're literally going like, you guys didn't even get a primary. Come vote with us. We got your back. We'll totally, we'll be so much better with Palestine.
Man's aspirations are huge. But the point is that Donald Trump has lied so repeatedly that we normalize his mendacity, his misogyny, his hatred for the ordinary citizen who happens to think logically about these issues. Now, he's got a whole bunch of stuff from the stores up there. He doesn't refer to it. His economic policies are vapid. They are empty. He has nothing to say to
She has no policies on her website at all. She's got more
Zero
pronouns.
policies and 9
Donald
pronouns
Trump
on her website.
sits there and tells lie after lie, and he gets normalized by good people like y'all who don't call him out on his board.
Kamala Harris has more pronouns on her website than she does policy. The only thing she has on there is donate. She's running a Seinfeld campaign. The show is about nothing.
No,
But-
absolutely.
And she's winning.
So, where's that argument go the second that she does put her policy up? Because I just learned something, that she's the presumptive nominee, so she doesn't even have to really put any policies on her website until she's the actual nominee. So, after Monday, or actually, I'll give her till Tuesday. After Tuesday, you might have an argument, but, she's out here talking about policy this week, and I kind of see the writing on the wall here. We're leading up to the DNC, and I think you guys are pissing yourselves pretty bad because you guys are trying to spin the narrative that the honeymoon period's over. You guys are trying to spin a narrative that she doesn't have policy, and you guys are trying to spin a narrative that she's not doing interviews. Well, you're about to get all three of those things within a week's time here, except for the honeymoon period, because we get a new honeymoon period after the DNC. So, keep coping, guys.
Right? So, yeah.
She's not winning, actually.
She's aided and abetted by mainstream media. If you
Oh,
saw the
look how
headlines on the
nervous he
Neighboring
is.
Network a couple
She's not winning,
weeks ago, days
actually.
ago,
Yeah,
Donald Trump came out with his no taxes on tips policy. All of the headlines on mainstream media were derogatory. Kamala Harris comes out with her no taxes.
Kamala
Harris comes out with her policies on no taxes on tips, which is Donald Trump's policy, by the way.
Again,
all of the headlines on mainstream media
it's not as egregious
were positive
as
and glorious
he's making it out to be.
I guess y'all are standing
It's a
up for him
different
because he didn't
standard.
say any of this today. Everything you're saying
this
is
a
nothing he's
question.
ever said.
One of the things that we learned about her policy that she's going to roll out is support for a ban on price gouging. Now, I think reasonable people would ask, what does that mean? What does that really mean? And how is the government going to be involved in it? Here's Noah Rothman.
Reasonable people. Actually, no. Reasonable people might ask why it's not a thing now when we have a Democratic president in office. But, I guess we're not the reasonable people.
The National Review, he describes this policy as a rank.
That's right. The Republicans control the House, so we're never going to get the bill through. And I don't think there's any executive action that can be done with this. So she's making a promise based on the belief that we're going to have a sweep in the House and Senate, and then she would have the executive power to sign such a bill. But again, disingenuousness just bleeding through her pink shirt.
Pander to the economically illiterate. And despite the presence of many who fit that description in Congress, they understand that allowing the executive branch to functionally set prices is a brain-dead idea that would only hurt consumers in the long run. Is this just a ploy? Because it sounds kind of like it.
Well, look, if you like it, it's called...
Is it just a ploy? Is talking about price gouging just a ploy? When you have Donald freaking Trump sitting up there in front of a news conference with honey bunches of oats, Folgers coffee going, look, the things that I don't even know what these are so high. The honey oats are so high. But you're sitting here going, is this disingenuous? Is this just a ploy? Come on. And you guys wonder why you've lost viewers? It's not just Trump.
Good policy. If you don't like it, you call it pandering.
But is it really policy? Price gouging?
Look, if she could do that, Lord have mercy.
Oh,
I mean,
and
she might need to be the
I love her
as
little.
opposed to the president, but
Yeah,
she's able at least
that's what
to
people are
set the
talking
tone.
about. They're
Here's what's
talking about
important.
inflation.
First of all, in terms of Kamala not speaking about Vice President Harris speaking about issues, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Everybody has said that what she is doing is genius in the sense that she's out Trumping Trump. So Trump is
Her
pissed.
campaign is being operated from a basement.
Well, hold on.
She's
Let
not
me
out
just
there.
finish.
She's not answering
Trump
questions.
is being
not doing anything.
Trump is being undermined by Trumpian-like politics in the sense that what she's done is I understand when I'm going to speak. I understand what I'm going to say. She's going.
He's getting out trumped because she's doing the same thing except with substance. She's not just going out and be like, inflation's too high. I'll take care of it.
To form her policies, and she's going to articulate them. Now, whether we agree with them or not is another thing. The point is the strategy is not backfiring on it. Number two, in terms of polls, the polls are a statistical dead heat. You say that means that she's losing. I'm saying for Donald Trump to have already been president once and coming back with the same reruns, Donald Trump is in a very vulnerable position.
Talk about rerun. Kamala's.
You had it right. You almost got it.
I will say Kamala any way that I want to.
But
Kamala,
you
see, right
there.
Right there is where she lost it. Right there. Because again, that's about the disrespect. Because like before it was kind of like a oopsie guy, like she could have even played it like, guys, really? You're kind of fishing here. Like, guys, knock it off. Like, I misspoke, my bad. But no, she had to be a dick about it. And I mean, that's just
Purposely mispronouncing her name.
That's
if I purposely mispronounced your name, that would not be appropriate.
Policies are Joe Biden's policies. She owns it.
You're normalizing
33
that kind of
times.
viciousness, man.
33 times.
But it's
She was the deciding vote. She was in it on Joe Biden's bill. She knows that times the deciding vote on Joe Biden's bills in the Senate.
Let me just say this, because this Congresswoman is a wonderful human being, but when you disrespect Kamala Harris by saying you will call her whatever you want, I know you don't intend it to be that way. That's the history and legacy of white disregard for the humanity of black people.
So now you're calling me racist.
I didn't say. I just said you weren't
BS.
racist.
That is complete.
No, you don't have to intend racism.
I love how he tries to teach her like, yeah, it is kind of racist. Maybe you shouldn't do it. And she's just like, why you call me a racist?
Why can't you just, Congresswoman? Why can't you just?
I'm not calling you a racist. I'm saying what the practice is racist.
You are. You absolutely
are. No, what's disgusting is your disrespect of her.
Professor,
this gentleman said, I didn't know her name. He's trying to do it.
Is her disrespect of women. She doesn't know what a woman is. And if 25 years ago,
white women don't have the ability to tell black women who paid the price of blood to make this country what it is to tell them they're not real women.
25
They
years
care for
ago,
your babies
25 years
and
ago,
respected
I
your
became
humanity.
the first woman to graduate from the Citadel, the military college of South Carolina. I
So call
fought
her
my
name
way
right.
through it.
So pronounce her name right.
Yeah.
So pronounce her name right.
Yeah,
Kamala
weird.
Harris,
Weird how you had to rise through the ranks of a men's ruled fucking, like, that's a really bad comparative, but okay.
You said it was Nancy Mace.
I feel like I almost broke my brain.
That's disrespectful.
You can't expect people to
If a
respect your
man put
service
on
if you
a
don't
skirt and
respect
walked
her.
that stage 25 years ago, she
You're a
would have
white
said
woman
it. She would have
disrespecting a
taken
black
that
woman. That is
achievement away from
problematic.
women.
Professor Dyson, let me get in here.
I mean, that again, Nancy Mace could have saved herself so much flack had she just gone, you know what, guys, like, I misspoke. But she doubled down, and that's the whole thing. That's the whole like problem with like centrists and independents. They don't like the school bully mentality. They don't like seeing you guys literally act like they're children. Like, these people already deal with children. Again, like, childless cat man, or, well, cat lady, I guess. But it's insane, But, okay, Republican Party, if this is the best you've got, keep them coming. All right, well, you know what to do. If you like this, like the video, comment, subscribe. For some of you guys, there's a little bell icon that if you turn that on, you'll get notifications about my new videos. So if you want to stay up to date, you can do that as well. So I will see you in the next one.